Well, hello. Good day and welcome to the Little Farmer's Farm with me, Guru Mafinda. It's a beautiful day down here in Eden today. It's 18 degrees and it's only the beginning of March. So I'm hoping I'm not going to get fooled into believing that it's now the start of the summer, because it isn't. But today is a glorious day, absolutely beautiful. You've just missed Lee Worrell and Magical Mick Derbyshire from Old MacDerby's farm. They've just been on. I've just been chatting to them there. But let's see what we can get up to today, boys and girls. Now, I know many of you viewers follow along with Old MacDerby's farm, my compadre, Magical Mick Derbyshire, from the Yin Yang farm. Well, it used to be Yin Yang farming when me and Mick were doing it together, but now we're just neighbours. I say just neighbours, we're still mates and everything. I'm getting into too much detail here. But if you watch Mick's channel, you'll have seen him building a pond up here at the allotments on the Eden plots. It's like a communal pond up at the top. It's got fish in it now. I'll let you have a look. Here it is. It's gorgeous. Nice little pond on in the communal seating area that they've put in. You can see how he created this on his channel, Old MacDerby's Farm. Check him out. And I think it's looking pretty cool. Little seating area. This is up at the top end. I've just come up to have a look and see if there's any wood chips that have been dropped, and there isn't. But there's some of the old stuff here. This will do for some paths, some rough paths down on my plot. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be shifting some of this. In fact, I'll shift the lot that's left. Take out the big twigs and stuff, and just get the wood chip and take it down. Yeah. So yeah, onwards and upwards, dear viewer. Got plenty of weeding to do. Got paths to sort out. And I might even make a start potentially on doing that shed, but we'll see how we get on. I've got a black shed of death that needs to be removed and disposed of. It's the disposal part that's going to be the struggle. The actual taking down of it, it'll probably fall down, but the disposal part of it is a tricky one for me because I've only got a boot in my BMW. I haven't got any real space for it. A bit of a faux pas on my part, that getting a car that isn't fit for purpose, but never mind. Where there's a will, there's a greedy relative. All right, catch you in a bit. All right, guys, so we're up at the top of the plots, and this is the big potato bed, my traditional big potato bed where I'll be planting the Sarpomeras this year. So in here, as you can see, it's festooned with weeds, unwanted plants that need to be shifted and removed. So that's the plan. I want to get rid of all these weeds, clear this path down here with all the weeds in it, membrane that, put weed membrane down, and then top it off with, hopefully, I'll have enough of these stones. There are stones in this here bag, and it's the same stone that I used down at the front of the tiki up last week. And it's just to finish that off and sort of like, what do they call it? Not retard the weed growth down here. So straighten it all out, remove the weeds that are already there, straighten it all out, and then put the weed membrane down, a couple of layers, and then pile it all up with the stones. So that's the first job, and I have allocated an hour for that. So fingers crossed, we can crack on. All right, so that's an hour later. It took us an hour to do that. Clouds just come over. It's a pity. But it's still a nice day. It's nice and warm. Got a fire going at the top. So that's all done. And I've just started on this pathway here. So about another, say, 20 minutes. And then 10 minutes, say, to lay the membrane. And another 10 minutes to put the stone down. So I'll see you in about, 40 minutes? Right, so it is about 40 minutes later, to be honest, and it's not quite completed. I've run out of stone. There is more stone back at my neighbour's place, but it's getting it up with me only having the boot in the car. I probably need about another 8 bags. That, I think, was 8 bags of stone to do that. And I've got this bit to do here, and then I want to give it another kind of a layer on top, just so it's about 2.5–3 inches deep in stone. And obviously we've got the membranes underneath. And underneath that, when I've weeded, there's the old stone there and the old membrane. So we should have about 3 layers of membrane and a good 4 inches of stone there, which will help to suppress all those weeds and keep those weeds down. It's a pity I've not been able to finish that, because I think it would have looked good. As you can see, I've doubled up the black membrane, black weed membrane, folded it over. There's the fold on that side, and it's so it's like a double layer, and then we've got the old stone underneath, and then we've got another layer of membrane. That stuff, which is good stuff. Looks like bubble wrap, but it's not. It's a lot tougher. I don't know what it is, to be honest with you, but it's good, tough stuff. But yeah, I need another 8 bags of that. What a pity. Anyway, I've been down for it's going up for 3 hours now. I moved them away from here, obviously, so I can get the stones in. But yeah, another 8 bags out there. I've used the bags, the old compost bags that I'm casting it about in. These will do. But yeah, anyway, that's all done. I'm going to rake that flat now and see what we've got. Okay, now it's time to get this bed looking nice and even, get it all evened out and the same sort of a level, and then we know where we're starting from. I'm going to top the bed up later once the potatoes have started coming through, but I just want to get it level for the time being, just so it looks neat and tidy and I can spot any weeds that I've missed. So I'll do that. I'll give it a good raking over, and we'll come back to it in a second. All right, so I've just raked it a bit more level. It's not totally level. You don't want it to be like a billiard table, really, but it's just evened it out. There's a lot more soil, because I dug up the spuds from that end. There's a lot more soil at this end. It was like piled high, so I kind of level it out a bit. As I say, I'm going to be topping it up with about 4 more bags of compost later on when the spuds do pop up. I'm not actually planted the spuds yet. I'm going to wait another couple of weeks first before I do that. Traditionally, it's the 17th of March that you do that, St. Patrick's Day. But I think it's something like the 9th today, but I always leave it about a week later. Only reason being is because we're a little bit further up north, and we tend to catch a bit more of the frost later into the year. So I don't want these potatoes coming up until sort of mid-April into May. They actually say, there's an old saying which I don't really agree with, never cast a clout until May is out. Whatever that bloody means, but yeah, the frost can still stick around up until sort of mid-May. And if you do get a hard frost, or even a relatively light frost, once your horns come up on your potatoes, your horns, I call them horns. When the potatoes come up, they send the shoots up, and obviously the foliage and stems come up through the ground. They can get burned by the frost, because it's quite a delicate plant, really, a potato. But as long as it's not too bad, they do tend to come back. You get regrowth coming back. So as long as you don't plant them in too early, you should be okay. Fingers crossed. You never know in this country, though. It's crazy. There's the fire behind me. The old bush tacker television there, boys and girls. Great fires, aren't they? Fantastic. That's the second burn of the day, and it's actually the 5th burn of the big pile of wood that we had here. It is going down. I reckon another 3 or 4 burns and we'll have rid of that. In fact, probably about another 2 burns and we'll have rid of that. It is going down, but there was a massive pile, if you remember, last week. It was huge. And I've saved some of these, I've retained some of these. I think they were like wooden shelves in airing cupboards, old airing cupboards in some council houses that we were working on. And I took them out originally so I could make some sort of pea trellises and what have you with them, but I've not really successfully found a total use for these as yet. But I will do. Whether I use them to make paths or something, I don't know. Don't know what to do with them. Somebody will have a use for these. I'll bet you somebody's got a use for these on these plots. And that's what it's all about, boys and girls, helping each other out. Waste not, want not, reuse, repurpose and recycle is the way forward in this turbulent world we live in, I think. For sure. I mean, I'm burning wood there, but I'm not, to be honest, I'm not overly concerned about carbon. It's the rest of the pollutants. Because carbon dioxide is the gas of life, boys and girls. It's what the plants feed on. They take in carbon dioxide and they release oxygen. And once all that's burned down, we'll get potash from that. So the ash that's left, we'll sieve and grind up, and we'll make potash out of that, which again is good for it'll be good for the potatoes, that, and other plants. So potash within the soil makes a good addition to the soil, which is what we're all about. We need to think of things like that always, you know. If that didn't get burned like that, I don't know what would happen to it. It'd probably go, well, it'd go back into the ground, I suppose, and rot down, wouldn't it? So it's not the ideal situation to burn the wood, but we've nowhere to put the wood up here. So at least by burning that wood, we are going to get the potash from it, which can be an addition to our soil and help us to grow healthy vegetables. So it's a 50-50 one, that, I think, for me. What do you think, guys? Put your comments in the section below. We always like to hear your comments. So if you're not already subscribed, please comment, like and subscribe to the Little Farmer's Farm with me, Guru Mafinda, for more fun and japes and growing experiences and taking that shed down, which I think I might do tomorrow. All right, catch you shortly. Look at that. You could wrap some potatoes up, even sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are good done in coals like that. Once that dies down a bit more, you could get some sweet potatoes wrapped in tin foil, put them in there. They'd be absolutely gorgeous. Bit of butter, bit of salted butter. You want with that? None of your margarine, salted butter. That's what you want. But yeah, that'll all reduce down to practically now. But it'll be a good amendment, that, the potash. A good amendment to the soil. Yeah, we'll cover that up, and that'll make fine charcoal. Ash, potash. Wonderful stuff. Right, okay. So I'm going to wrap up now. I'll just show you what I plan on doing, or what I plan on planting in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to start off the onions. I think I showed you this last week, but if you missed that one, I'll just show you the potatoes that I'm planting. We've got first earlies, second earlies and main croppers. And lots of little bugs flying around at the moment, actually. And that's weird. There's like a black line down that side of the... I hope that's not beginning... If you can see a black line, probably to your left, then I don't know what that is, boys and girls, but it's there. I'll just show you the potatoes and the onions. Yeah, so for main croppers, we've got the Sarpo Mira, which are quite a good big potato, those, for chipping and whatnot. And they're also very disease resistant, so you won't get blight, or you shouldn't get blight. They're very resistant to blight. Sagita, Harry and Sally are our second earlies. They'll be going in. Look at last week's show. You'll see what I'm on about with all the particular specialness of them. Casablanca are our new white-skinned first early, suitable for boiling, baking, roasting, chips and mashing. A good all-rounder, that Casablanca. I suppose if you leave them in, as long as you can, you'll get the bigger tubers. But these take between 10 and 12 weeks, apparently, on this. I've noticed that if you leave them in for about 14 weeks, till all the horns die down, you're better off, you get a bigger yield then. Caledonian Pearl. And last but not least, we've got Pentland Javelin, which are an old favourite. Sharps Express as well. So yeah, and then on the onion side, we've got the Stuttgarter, and we've got the Centurion. So it's a Germany v Italy shootout. I've got the same amount of both of them, actually. I've got it says 50 in the onion sets in each one of these bags, so it's 150. You won't get that. You'll probably get about 100 out of each one that are going to be viable, big enough. I'm a bit judicious with them. A lot of people just plant them all in, like, but you'll find that some of them are not up to par. But they'll be going in, and we're going to start some more peas off. Lady Farmer put some peas in last week in there, but they've not popped through yet, so I won't show you them. Maybe next week if they've popped through. It's a little bit cool at the moment, although it's been nice and warm today, so you never know. They might start shooting through. Anyway, peace and love. I might get another one up tomorrow, another video up, fingers crossed. But keep growing with your heads down. And I'll see you next time, guys. That's probably back to front to that. Anyway, keep growing with your heads down at the Little Farmer's Farm, and you're always welcome here. Doesn't matter what you are. If you're a man, if you're a gentleman, you've been virile, forthright, and what was it? What's the other one? Masculine. Ooh, nearly forgot that one. If you're a lady, you've been beautiful, fragrant, and fantastic. And if you've been something in between, you've been something in between, and we love you all. We're all God's creation, as long as you're a good person. Right. Peace, love, and namaste. See you next time. Bye-bye now, boys and girls. Have a good weekend. It's Saturday today. Don't get too drunk, because you're up for the plots in the morning. All right. See you in a bit. Bye-bye now. And as the sun sets on another glorious day in Eden, it's time now for the guru to retire to his boudoir. Goodbye.